Coming up on the Children's Hour, it's the end of the school year. Students are graduating and moving on, sometimes to different schools and often to new teachers. We'll celebrate the graduates and give special honors to all of the teachers who have guided us throughout this entire school year. We'll hear a musical celebration of teachers to help us thank them for their excellent work. Plus, sit back and laugh with Bill Harley as we hear a story about what happens with teachers in the summertime. We're smiling our way into summer, coming up on the Children's Hour. The Children's Hour is an independent production of the Children's Hour Incorporated, a New Mexico-based nonprofit. We're distributed by Native Voice One, the Native American radio network.
It's time for the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.
What is the first thing that bats learn at school?
I don't know what.
The alphabet.
It's time for the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.
I'm from waking up early and planning my week. Creases from the pillowcase, sometimes on my cheek. From choosing a story for I read aloud. Thinking about the ways that y'all make me proud. Diddle-diddle, diddle-lie, diddle-dum-bye. Diddle-diddle, diddle-lie, I'm from leaving my house before it gets hot. Don't get there too late, there'll be no parking spot. From rushing to meetings, say, hey, what's this one for? At least the folks I meet with I really adore. Diddle-diddle, diddle-lie, diddle-dum-bye. Diddle-diddle, from driving slowly down Broadway where the speed limits drop. Don't want another ticket in the mail from photo stop. From walking in the building, see kids waiting by my door. Aren't you supposed to be at recess so life's never a bore? Diddle-diddle, diddle-lie, from setting down my things but not turning on the light. With the sun shining in the window, my room's plenty bright. From making my copies before the bell will chime, and hopefully use the restroom if there's time. From taking attendance unless we can't get online, then finishing our breakfast a little bit past 9. From morning announcements, who's the new Foursquare king, and starting off our day with a little song to sing. Soy de aprender inglés y español. ¿Cómo está el tiempo? Hace sol. Soy de libros y música y persistencia, y mejorar con tiempo y paciencia. I'm from stories and numbers, speaking only in rhyme. And what'd you learn in school today? Did you have a good time? From thinking about family, what brings you peace of mind, and looking for that balance, sometimes hard to find. From riding the roller coaster even when I'm scared, coming back to ride again next year even more prepared. From remember to say thank you, remember to say please, and when I blow my harmonica you're supposed to freeze. From Thanks everybody for all that you do, and making it a treat to run into you. From kicking back this summer and catching up on rest, treat yourself to something special, you deserve the best.
That's Seth Hoffman, recorded live on the Children's Hour all the way back in 2007 with his Ode to Teachers. I'm Katie Stone, and today on the Children's Hour, we're going to honor those special people in our lives, our teachers, who have given us such a magnificent school year, and we're going to honor all the students who are graduating. No matter what stage of education you're at right now, it's time to move you on. It's the summer, and it's a great time to have adventures, go to the library, and have fun with your friends. Coming up, we've got a story from Bill Harley, lots of great music, including this one from Mark John Haney's Earthlings. You're listening to the Children's Hour. Follow along on our playlist at childrenshour.org. Look for End of School.
It's time to move you on. As surely as this year started, now it's gone. No more silence, no more tests. A simple wish for you the best. And I'll make one more request. While your future's shining bright, keep on marching into the light. Don't be afraid to be the best that you can be. If that makes you stand alone, drop me a letter, call me up on the phone. You can be assured you've got a friend in me. Some of you I may never see again, and others will drop by now and then. If you remember me or not, don't ever think that I forgot. I'm not your teacher now, but I'll always be your friend. While your future's shining bright, keep on marching into the light. Don't be afraid to be the best that you can be. If that makes you stand alone, drop me a letter, call me up on the phone. You can be assured you've got a friend in me.
Miss Mackenzie, it's clear we've learned a lot this year about knights in armor, math in outer space. And Miss Mackenzie, I know we've got a ways to go, but it's time to put our pencils in the case. Still, I don't wanna say goodbye, and I don't wanna make you cry, but the buses are all lining up outside. And there's no doubt that school's out, and there's no doubt that school's out. Miss Mackenzie, it's okay. Summer's on its way. We'll be running through the fields and skipping stones. And I'm not sure what teachers do when we're not with you, but I know you'll have adventures of your own. Still, I don't wanna say goodbye, and I don't wanna make you cry, but the bell's about to ring and then we're gone. And there's no doubt, there's no doubt that school's out, school's out. And there's no doubt, there's no doubt that school's out, school's out. And we've grown a few inches taller, tall buildings, all tall buildings. And you made our world big and smaller, all tall buildings, tall buildings. Miss Mackenzie, please be brave. We'll stop by or wave when we see you between classes in the fall. And it's not gonna be the same, but no one's to blame. We'll pretend we're knights in armor standing tall. 'Cause the things learned at the start get written in your heart, chalkboard lines that no one can erase. It's time for new beginnings. It's time for extra innings. It's time for winding paper out. See what this great big world's about. It's time, it's time. And there's no doubt, there's no doubt that school's out, school's out. And there's no doubt it's time for new beginnings. It's time for extra innings. No doubt it's time for winding paper out. See what this great big world's about. There's no doubt that school's out, school's out. And there's no doubt tall buildings, tall buildings, tall buildings, tall. And there's no doubt tall
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
That was Green Day, right here on the Children's Hour. Justin Roberts before that from Recess, and we opened up that set with Mark Jonathan Haney. You're listening to the Children's Hour. We're celebrating the end of the school year. School's out. This is Kid Pan Alley, right here on the Children's Hour.
School's out, time to let the rules out. School's out, time to scream and shout. Keep in touch, won't see you much, 'cause school's out, school's out. What you gonna do when summer comes? Head to the beach and get some sun. Go see a movie every night. Tell my homework to take a hike. School's out, time to let the rules out. School's out, time to scream and shout. Keep in touch, won't see you much, 'cause school's out, school's out. I'm gonna miss you oh so much. Drop me a line and stay in touch. Postcards, emails, and telegraphs. Send a great message to make me laugh. School's out, time to let the rules out. School's out, time to scream and shout. Keep in touch, won't see you much, 'cause school's out, school's out. Go outside and have some fun. Summer vacation has just begun. I can't sleep all day long. Watch cartoons and sing along. Yeah! School's out, time to let the rules out. School's out, time to scream and shout. Keep in touch, won't see you much, 'cause school's out, school's out.
There's 104 days of summer vacation till school comes along just to end it. So the annual problem for our generation is finding a good way to spend it. Like maybe building a rocket or fighting a mummy or climbing up the Eiffel Tower. Discovering something that doesn't exist or giving a monkey a shower. Surfing tidal waves, creating nanobots, or locating Frankenstein's brain. Finding a dodo bird, painting a continent, or driving our sister insane. This could possibly be the best day ever. And the forecast says that tomorrow will likely be 1,000,006 times better. So make every minute count, jump up, jump in, and seize the day. And let's make sure that in every single possible way, today is gonna be a great day. Crossing the tundra or building a roller coaster, skiing down a mountain of beans. Devising a system for remembering everything or synchronizing submarines. Racing chariots, taming tiger sharks, constructing a portal to Mars. Building a time machine, stretching a rubber tree, or wailing away on guitars. Oh man, this could possibly be the best day ever. And the forecast says that tomorrow will likely be 1,000,006 times better. So make every minute count, jump up, jump in, and seize the day. And let's make sure that in every single possible way, today is gonna be a great day. Hey, 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 hey. Let's put our heads together and design a master plan. We may miss dinner, but I know Mom will understand. We've got our mission and suppliers, yogurt, gumballs, and desire, and a pocket full of rubber bands, the manual on handstand, a unicycle compass, and a camera that won't focus, and a canteen full of soda. Grab a beach towel,
great.
This could possibly be the best day ever. Today is gonna be a great day. This could possibly be the best day ever. Today is gonna be a great day.
You're listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio. We'll be right back.
The Children's Hour is produced by the Children's Hour Incorporated, a New Mexico-based educational nonprofit that is supported by listeners just like you. You can learn how you can help make Kids Public Radio at childrenshour.org. New Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs supports the Children's Hour. The Arts Alive program on Museum Hill in Santa Fe is free for all ages in June and July. Plan your summer visit at museumhill.net. Do you have an old car, boat, or motorcycle cluttering your yard? Learn how you can turn your unwanted vehicle into Kids Public Radio at childrenshour.org. Welcome back to the Children's Hour. I'm Katie Stone. Today on the show, we're celebrating the end of school. And before the break, you heard Bowling for Soup with the Phineas and Ferb theme song, Today is Going to Be a Great Day. And it is going to be a great day because we've got a story from Bill Harley. This is Mrs. Ammons in the boys' room.
If you're a kid, you might think that your teacher doesn't know what to do when you're not there. You might think that teachers don't have anything to do all summer but wait for you to come back. Some kids think that teachers camp out in their classrooms all summer, waiting for Labor Day and the arrival of students when they can start living again. And that makes sense when you think about it. When school gets out in June, the teacher stands at the door, says goodbye, the kids run out the door, and they go home all summer. They come back at the end of the summer, and there the teacher is standing right where they left her. Hi, she says, come on in. I've been waiting for you. I thought that too, until the end of fourth grade. I found out at the end of fourth grade that teachers have a life without us. And I found out because Mrs. Marshall's dumb baby came early. Mrs. Marshall was my fourth grade teacher, and I really liked her. Mrs. Marshall was pregnant. She was supposed to say goodbye to us at the end of the school year, have the weekend off, deliver the baby on Monday, and be back in school the first week of September. But the dumb baby came early, and all of us in her fourth grade class arrived in school on Monday of the last week, a week that ended on Thursday at 11 o'clock, and we discovered that she was missing. Her baby had come. It was bad enough that Mrs. Marshall wasn't there because we all liked her, but what was even worse was who was there in her place. In Mrs. Marshall's place was Mrs. Ammons, the long-term substitute teacher of Washington Township. Mrs. Ammons was the SWAT team, the Rapid Deployment Force, the crisis management contingent of the school system, brought in when a class of kids had succeeded in reducing a teacher to tears and had driven her to early retirement. She only came in for long periods, and she only came in when they really needed her because everybody was afraid of her. There's no way to describe her but gaunt, humorless, and severe. She dressed in a simple gray skirt and white blouse. Her gray hair was yanked tight against her head. Her gray eyes peered out at the classroom like a hawk looking for some little animal to catch. Once when I was in another class, we were all up running around the room. We were working on a project. Maybe we were making a little too much noise. I don't know. Maybe we were learning. But the teacher was in the room. Everything was okay. Mrs. Ammons was walking down the hallway. She heard all the noise. She opened up the door, stuck her head in the classroom, and said, "Is there a problem here?" We all scrambled to our seats, even the teacher. So you can imagine how upset I was when I walked into my fourth grade classroom and saw her. "What are you doing here?" I asked. "Mrs. Marshall had her baby," she said. "I'm your teacher for the rest of the week. Sit down and do your morning work. It's on the board." Now, it was miserable to have Mrs. Ammons at any time of year, but having her the last week of school was the worst thing that could possibly happen. The last week of school was the only one worth going to as far as I was concerned, because the teachers had given up. It was hot. Standardized tests were finished. We could smell summer. So there was only one thing to do: have fun. We had extra recesses. We played hangman on the board in the middle of English. We had parties. We had class outside where you'd pull grass and throw it at your friends. But not with Mrs. Ammons. She called us in early from the first recess. Someone asked if we could have class outside. She said no, because you wouldn't learn anything. You just throw grass at your neighbor. Exactly, I thought. That was the whole point. When can we have fun, we'd ask. Why can't we play games like everybody else? She would say, school ends on Thursday at 11 o'clock. After that, you can do whatever you want. Well, I got off on the wrong foot right away. I didn't mean to. I was misunderstood. The first time we lined up for lunch, she walked to the front of the line, turned the light of the classroom off, said, "Oh, that wasn't nearly good enough. Back to your seats, we'll have to try it again." We walked back to our seats and tried it again. She didn't like that either. Too noisy, too fast, not in order. Again and again and again. Our lining up was eating into the lunch hour. Finally, about the 7th or 8th time we were headed back to our desks, I said, under my breath, just loud enough for her to hear, "Geez, I'm glad we're learning to do this." She misunderstood me. I meant to show her I understood how exasperated she was. We were idiots that we couldn't line up right. I looked at her. She folded her arms, turned her head towards me, lowered her gaze, and gave me a long, cold stare. After that, it didn't seem like I could say or do anything right. I was doomed. It was a miserable way to spend the last week of school. And there was only one place that you could escape. And that was only if you were a boy. 3 times a day, at 10:30, right before lunch, and at 1:30 in the afternoon, we had restroom break. We would file out the door of the classroom, down the hall, and the boys and girls would split up and go into the restrooms. And then the fun began, if you were a boy. We lined up at the 4 sinks and turned on the faucets. We soaked paper towels and threw them up on the ceiling. We flushed the urinals. Perry Lesh could do this amazing thing. He could take in one big swig of water, and for the rest of the 3 minutes we were in the bathroom, he would squirt little sprays out, one after another. And we would count, 84, 85, 86, and he would never run out. Shortly after we went in, we would hear 3 sharp raps on the door. And from the other side, we would hear Mrs. Ammons' voice. "Time, boys. Time. Hurry up. Time. Time." But we were safe. Finally, we would walk out of the restroom with smiles on our faces. She would say, "No snickering." She wanted to know what went on, but she couldn't find out because she wasn't a boy. That week, on the Monday afternoon excursion to the restroom, I made a discovery, which launched me into the pantheon of the most famous 4th graders that ever attended Delaware Trail Elementary School. In the bathroom, washing my hands, I looked back at the stalls and had a sudden inspiration. I walked into one of the nearest stalls, closed the door, stood on top of the seat, put my hands on top of the stall wall for balance, and poked my head over the top. "Look, you guys, look," I said. I reached out with one leg, holding onto the top of the stall, and with that free foot, pushed down on the plunger. The toilet roared and swirled. I looked at my friends, rolled my eyes, and said, "Ah!" and slowly sank down to my knees, my head disappearing behind the stall wall. There was a moment of silence, and then this huge, spontaneous outbreak of applause and cheering. It looked exactly like I had been swallowed by the toilet. I didn't know exactly what it looked like, but it must have been magnificent because immediately every boy in the restroom lined up for the stall and saying, "Oh, watch me. No, watch this one. No, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it." And one by one, whoosh, whoosh, they all got sucked up by the toilet. Finally, Mrs. Ammons' knocking was so persistent we had to leave with huge grins. "No snickering," she said. We could hardly wait for restroom break. We asked for extra ones. The girls in our class couldn't understand it, and probably more than one began to really wonder if there was something seriously, seriously wrong with boys. I am proud to say that of all the boys in that class, I was the best, the absolute best at getting sucked up by the toilet. You can put it on my grave. It was the only bright spot in a horrible week. Other kids in other classes got extra recesses. Mrs. Ammons discovered some old reading books in some long forgotten closet in the school, handed them out, and had us read these stupid stories and answer the stupid questions. One of them was Jimmy's birthday surprise, about a kid who was excited because he got dress shoes for his birthday. Who could get excited about that? We had to answer the question in full sentences. The question asked, "What was Jimmy's birthday surprise?" And if you wrote, "dumb dress shoes," Mrs. Ammons made you do the whole thing over and write, "Jimmy's birthday surprise was new dress shoes." "Why can't we have any fun?" we'd ask. She'd answer, "School ends at 11 o'clock on Thursday. Then you can have fun." Everybody else had parties. We begged and pleaded. Mrs. Ammons finally said, "All right, we'll play a game." "Oh, Grace, and we're going to do, what kind of game are we going to play?" "Math relay races," she said. "Oh, math relay races." In math relay races, she would write a bunch of problems up on the board. The first person in each row would go up to the board and do the first problem, finish it, go back, touch the person behind them in their row, and that person would go up and do the next problem. The only fun part was trying to trip the kids in the other rows as they ran back to their seats. After the second time somebody tripped, Mrs. Ammons said, "All right, no tripping. Everyone must walk to the board and back." "What's the point?" I asked. She glared at me again and shook her head back and forth as if she were reaching the end of her rope. All week long, we wandered through the purgatory of Mrs. Ammons' teaching until finally we got to Thursday. Less than half a day to freedom. Mrs. Ammons gave us spelling words. She had us write a paper about what we liked about the year. And then, somewhere around 10 o'clock, or a little later, all the boys looked at each other. We realized we were still going to get one more bathroom break. At 10:30, Mrs. Ammons made no sign there would be a bathroom break. Finally, at 10:40, one of the boys raised his hand. "Miss Ammons, do we have a restroom break?" "No," she said. "School ends in half an hour." But what if you have to go?" somebody asked. "Oh, surely," she said. "You don't have to go. You can wait." No, all the boys said. We gotta go. I don't know why she gave in, but she did. "All right," she said. "This is silly. Everybody line up." We lined up. We were good at it. We'd had a week of practice. Down the hallways to the restroom, Mrs. Ammons muttering to herself, the girls wondering what was wrong with us. Mrs. Ammons stood at the door of the restroom and watched us file in. Inside the boys' restroom, the party began. The faucets went on, thumbs stuck underneath them, the urinals flushed, paper towels pulled out and soaked, turned into weapons. It was a water park. And of course, one by one, we lined up, went into the stall, and got sucked in by the toilet. "What's this? Ah! What's this? Ah!" It was an Olympic rating system, 6.2, 6.4, 6.5, artistic merit, 6.8. We were wild with abandon. School was almost over. Mrs. Ammons rapped on the door. "Time, boys, time. You guys," she said, you guys, one more, just watch. I ran into the stall, climbed on the seat. I hung over the edge of the stall. "You guys, watch." I reached out for the plunger with my foot. Now, there had been a lot of activity on that seat in the last 3 minutes. Every time it had flushed, a little water had spurted up a little bit onto the seat, and it was wet. I guess it was a little slippery, too. As I pushed down on the plunger, I felt my foot beginning to slip off the seat, headed towards, the sewer system. I pulled my other foot off the plunger and tried to find the seat with it, but that foot slipped and both feet were gone, and in I went. I screamed, "Ah!" On the other side of the wall, as the toilet swirled, the bathroom had gone quiet. I assumed this was because it was so realistic. After all, I really was being sucked up by the toilet. Though both feet were in the toilet, I realized I was going to be okay. I wouldn't fit down in there. I was trying to get out, leaning against the stall for balance and saying, "I'm okay, guys, I'm okay." The door to the stall opened. I turned and said, "I'm okay." And there she was, Mrs. Ammons, in the boys' bathroom. How did she get in there? Was that legal? Could she do that? Wasn't there some rule? She folded her arms, shook her head slowly, and hissed, "What do you think you're doing?" What could I say? I said, "I'm stuck in the toilet." Well, she got me unstuck fast. We left a trail of water down the hallway for the custodian to clean up sometime that summer. The whole way down the hall, she didn't finish a sentence. Of all the things I have never, you think if all my years of if in my day, this is the last. My arm was locked in her grip. She dragged me down the hall to the office. We stood at the office counter. She was muttering and spluttering, "Where is Mr. Oliver?" She was asking for the vice principal in charge of discipline. The secretary jumped up from what she was doing. She was terrified of Mrs. Ammons, too. "I don't know," the secretary said. "He's in some other part of the building." "Well, you call him down here right now. Right now." The secretary hopped to the intercom and called for the vice principal. Mrs. Ammons held onto my arm, pinching it tighter, still muttering to herself and shaking her head. Everybody else was getting ready to be free, and I was going to be hung up in the vice principal's closet, expelled for life, sent to Siberia. "Where is he?" Mrs. Ammons asked. He's coming, the secretary said. I looked down the hall, and I saw Mr. Oliver coming from the primary wing, trundling down the hall. "Oh, I'm going to die." Mrs. Ammons had seen him too, and she turned me around to face him. I saw the serious look on Mr. Oliver's face. He came closer and closer, and then, when he was about 20 feet away, it happened. The bell rang. The last long bell of school rang, and summer had begun. The doors of the classrooms were flung open. Hundreds, thousands of children, free, poured into the hall, out the main door, by the office, onto the pavement, headed to the buses, their arms waving, their voices chanting, raised in joy, papers being scattered everywhere. And I felt it too, like a great surge of joy and life and hope calling to something deep inside of me. I felt myself pulled too. I looked up at Mrs. Ammons. She looked at me, and I saw something in her eyes. I couldn't quite make out what it was. Some doubt, some hesitation, some question. I felt her grip loosen for a moment, and I ran like the wind. Or maybe I was just pulled by the mass of humanity that was pouring out of the door, out the door, down the walk, up the steps of the bus, all the way to the back of the bus. Other fourth graders from my class came on the bus and saw me. "What happened?" they asked. "I got away," I said. They cheered and yelled. We looked out the window for Mr. Oliver or Mrs. Ammons or the whole police force to bust out of the school and get me. But the bus doors closed. The bus shifted into gear, up the driveway, onto the street. I was free. Free at last. Free at last. Great God Almighty, free at last. I had never felt so free before. I've never felt so free again. I got home and came in the house, carefully. "How was school?" my mom asked. "Fine," I said. "Good," she said. Phew, I thought. She hadn't heard. I waited for a call from the school, but it didn't come. In the neighborhood, I was a hero. I had escaped from Mrs. Ammons, the only one to ever do so. And I took all the praise, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I had gotten away or she had let me go, because I remembered that look in her eyes, and I wondered what it meant. I found out. Somewhere halfway through the summer, on the way home from the pool at the Y, I talked my mom into stopping and letting me get an ice cream cone. As I stood in line there in the hot sun, the line was 4 or 5 people deep, with a big guy in front of me, I heard a familiar voice at the window ordering, "I'd like a small vanilla cone." It was she. I leaned over and looked around the guy in front of me. There she was, Mrs. Ammons, outside of school. She was wearing a white camp shirt and salmon-colored Bermuda shorts she would never have worn in school. She took the cone and turned to walk back down the line. I stood behind the guy in front of me, hoping she wouldn't notice. But she did. She stopped in front of me and looked at me with those steely eyes. "Hello, William," she said. "Hi, Mrs. Ammons." Are you having a good summer? Uh-huh. And then she licked her cone, looked at me evenly and said, I know you were sick of me. But William, not as sick as I was of you. So, when you say goodbye to your teachers at the end of the school year and wonder how they're going to do without you, don't worry about a thing. They're gonna be just fine.
That's Bill Harley from Battle of the Mad Scientists. Today we're celebrating the end of the school year.
You're listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio. We'll be right back.
Many thanks to the Outpost Performance Space for hosting the Children's Hour. The Children's Hour is supported by United Way of North Central New Mexico. Support for the Children's Hour provided by New Mexico Arts, a division of the New Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs, and by the National Endowment for the Arts. Support for the Children's Hour provided by the City of Albuquerque Cultural Services Department and the Urban Enhancement Trust Fund. You're listening to the Children's Hour. We're celebrating the end of school. This is Peter Lenton and Friends.
Sunnyside School, everyone is cool. It's the heart of our community. People are kind and friendly. It might rain outside, but the sun still shines on the inside. Everyone is cool at Sunnyside School. Can you see the pride in our smiling eyes? Free to be the best that we can be. Everyone is welcome, no matter where you come from. So sing along, you'll feel like you belong. At Sunnyside School, everyone is cool. It's the heart of our community. People are kind and friendly. It might rain outside, but the sun still shines on the inside. Everyone is cool at Sunnyside School. Our teachers all are awesome. We can learn and have fun. Funny how this feels so much like home. Everyone's accepting and volunteers are helping. At Sunnyside I never feel alone. At Sunnyside School, everyone is cool. It's the heart of our community. People are kind and friendly. It might rain outside, but the sun still shines on the inside. Everyone is cool at Sunnyside School. I like fire drills, hot dog days, and learning about the world. People share and care, and at recess we play fair. I love books and gym and making friends. At Sunnyside School, everyone is cool. It's the heart of our community. People are kind and friendly. It might rain outside, but the sun still shines on the inside. Everyone is cool at Sunnyside School. Everyone is cool at Sunnyside School.
Teacher elevate. Teacher elevate. Teacher elevate. Teacher elevates with the love bubble alight.
Some days I get dressed. Some days I'm a complete mess. Some days I don't wanna go to school. Some mornings can be hard. Those mornings with a real rough start. The days that just don't feel so cool. I can't forget there's someone at school who waits for me. That's right. A special someone there that wants me to succeed. Someone who's prepared lessons. Someone who wants me to learn. Who'll teach me math and art and literature. Thank you, teacher. I see you there. Thank you, teacher. I know you care. Thank you, teacher, for everything. You work so hard every day to teach us things, show us the way. Thank you, teacher, for teaching me.
Teacher, teacher, so nice to meet you. Forgot my homework, call it amnesia. Teacher's a mind reader, you don't want no trouble. The teacher elevates with the love bubble of light. Inside the classroom, knowledge surrounds you. You won't forget it cause the heart goes pound boom. It gets emotional, but teachers approachable. Always with the logical, sprinkled with just a touch of philosophical. Suddenly dreams don't seem impossible. Teacher breaks it down in steps, so now it's probable. The data shows that you'll be on your way. Every day should be Teacher Appreciation Day. Open minds to new ideas, teacher paves the way. Keep around extra umbrellas just in case it rains. That's preparation. Teacher busts the move when it's time for graduation. Showing how we show love when the vibe is celebration.
Thank you, teacher. I see you there. Thank you, teacher. I know you care. Thank you, teacher, for everything.
That's a whole lot of stuff to feel
You
grateful
work so
for.
hard every day to teach us things, show us the way. Thank you, teacher, for teaching me.
Every day I think about how you changed my life.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is the end. I love weekends, but I love school. Can't wait for Monday to see my friends. September, October, November, December. Then it's holiday. January, February, March, and April, May, then summer vacay.
Yeah. Thank you, teacher. I see you there. Thank you, teacher. I know you can. Thank you, teacher, for everything.
To all professors, assistants, and even the subs.
You work so hard every day.
It's all love.
To teach us things, show us the way.
This how you do it.
Thank you, teacher, for teaching me.
You're all genuine, bona fide, model citizens.
Thank you, teacher. I see you there.
I see you there.
Thank you, teacher. I know you care.
I know you care.
Thank you, teacher, for everything.
My thank you list is way too long for this song.
You work so hard every day to teach us things, show us the way.
When you get to it.
Thank you, teacher, for teaching me.
Thank you for teaching me all kinds of stuff.
She crouches low to catch my eye, so kind you could see it in her smile. She's my teacher. She's warm and always calm. She's my home away from home. She's my teacher. Wake up in the morning feeling fine. Off to school where the sun is shining. It's like a party every time. And I'm just so happy that she's mine. She's my teacher. Oh, she's my teacher. God knows how to be friends, joining us in our world of pretend. She's my teacher, reminding us to share, showing us just how much she cares. She's my teacher. Wake up in the morning feeling fine. Off to school where the sun is shining. It's like a party every time.
the folks who trust the children and who listen well, for all the bits and pieces of the stories kids can tell, to all the schools where children know that they'll be cared for well. This is a song to simply thank you. Thank you for the tears you shed when you are afraid that you might have made things worse by some comment that you made. And thank you for the way kids grow because of what you've done. Thank you for the teaching and the learning and the fun. To all the folks who work to change the laws so kids will be cared for and protected with all the love they need, where the measure of our teaching is their creativity. This is a song to simply thank you. Thank you for the tears you shed when you are afraid that you might have made things worse by some comment that you made. And thank you for the way kids grow because of what you've done. Thank you for the teaching and the learning and the fun. The folks who let each other know when something's good, so teaching won't be lonely and its work misunderstood, so teachers then can change and grow when they know they could. This is a song to simply thank you. Thank you for the tears you shed when you are afraid that you might have made things worse by some comment that you made. And thank you for the way kids grow because of what you've done. Thank you for the teaching and the learning and the fun. So if only for a moment, get away from your classroom, from all the expectations, come think of what you do. Just sit a while and listen while we say good for you. This is a song to simply thank you.
That was Tom Hunter from Bits and Pieces, an oldie but goodie with Thank You Teachers. Before that, Megan Schoenbaum from You Are Enough gave us My Teacher. Thank You Teacher featuring Mr. Cookie Jar was Again, Again. I'm Katie Stone. Today on the Children's Hour, we're saying goodbye to the school year and welcoming summer vacation. We're saying thank you to our amazing teachers who have brought us through another school year, and congratulations to all of the graduates. We wish you all the best for this next chapter of your lives. We're going to go out with Hannah Montana. We'll catch you next time for another edition of the Children's Hour.
I always knew this day would come. We'd be standing one by one with our future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. I always knew after all these years there'd be laughter, there'd be tears, but never thought I'd walk away with so much joy but so much pain. And it's so hard to say goodbye, but yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moment, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Another chapter in the book, can't go back, but you up ahead, only open doors. Who knows what we're heading towards? I wish you love, I wish you luck. For you the world just opens up. But it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moment. So glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Every day that we had, all the good, all the bad, I'll keep them here inside. All the times that we shared, every place, everywhere, you touched my life. Yeah, one day we'll look back, we'll smile and we'll laugh, but right now we just cry. 'Cause it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moment. So glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember.
The Children's Hour is produced by the Children's Hour Incorporated, a New Mexico nonprofit.
You can find photos, links, learn-along guides, and more about us at childrenshour.org.
Today's episode of the Children's Hour was written and produced by me, Katie Stone, with production help from Sarah Gabrielli and Thaniel Lentz. You can find our full playlist at childrenshour.org. Look for End of School. Many, many thanks to all the amazing teachers out there. We love you.
Find our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, or go to our patreon.com/The Children's Hour.
Or ask your smart speaker to play the Children's Hour podcast.
Our theme music was written by C.K. Barlow.
The Children's Hour is distributed by Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.